What's up, everybody? Welcome back for another live Friday workout. We're going to be doing legs today. I got my kettlebell here. Let's see if you guys can see it. Boop. Right here. We got our kettlebell, but before we get into that, we are going to do a little dynamic warm-up. So I just got done with my walk. Beautiful weather here in Tampa, Florida, so I'm super fortunate with that. Alright, we'll do a little forward lunge with rotation. Alright, 5 and 5. This is kind of ideal outdoor workout weather. Not too cold, not too hot. So we're in the sweet spot right now. I'm worried side. Alright, I'm going to move the camera over just a little bit so it's out of the sun. Alright, there we go. Hopefully we'll keep the connection. Alright, so now we do that. We're going to do a little, kind of almost like a standing hip car, but it's a little bit, probably not a true hip car because my other hip's going to do a little movement. We'll go reverse lunge. Get those hips loosened up. I'm really focusing a lot on strengthening lower body lately, for me personally, just because I've been having some, I would say, weakness in my lower back. So this is a kind of a perfect type of workout for yours truly. So, alright, we're going to do a little inchworms. Alright, start back here. Walk it forward. Good warm up stretch for that lower back. Walk the feet to hands and hands back out. I'll probably disappear from the camera, but I'll show you that I'm here. We'll do a couple more, back a little bit. This way. Try to walk it out, and then feet to hands. Try not to bend the knees until I have to, and then hands back out. A little more. Alright, so now we're going to do a little, that's the issue. If I get a little too close, too far away from the Wi-Fi, I lose my connection. So move back again. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and do our little hammy stretch, our floor sweepers. The other side. Oh, my kettlebell's in the way. That's all right. We'll be outside of it. Oh, yeah. So you guys can see a little bit more of that side view for that floor sweep. Leg out front, other knee, back foot's bent, hips back, touch the ground. You feel it behind that lead leg. All right? We'll do a little walking quad. Yeah. More. Hello. Alright, so I'll go away from you guys. One more. Alright, big wide stance. Feet together lunges. Right, toes down at an angle. Just gonna go side to side. Raise that toe up too, almost like a Cossack squat. Or foot down. Alright. Alright, so we're going to do a couple with the kettlebell, a couple without, a couple body weight ones. Alright, so the first one we're going to do is we're going to do our split squat with kettlebell. Alright, right under the chin. 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and do my lateral lunge to curtsy lunge, 5 and 5. This will be body weight. If you want to add weights, you can. I'm opting not to today. Okay, And then we're going to do that 5 of each on each side. Then we're going to go back to kettlebell, do our staggered deadlift. All right. Here, some people call it B stance or sprinter stance deadlift. 5 and 5 of those also. I'm going to do the side, the foot staggered back, right, with the weight. And then we're going to go ahead and do a little squat jumps, right? 5 of these, okay? So we'll do 5s for everything, all right? 5 reps on each side, or each move on each side at least, okay? And of course 5 jumps. All right, hold on, stand by. Tie my shoe. Tie my shoe, get a sip of water. Obviously, if you guys need more of a stretch, please do so. You can always, obviously follow along or go to our feed, Instagram feed. That the workout will be up on our Instagram feed. Of course, I forgot my water inside. Nuts. All right. Instagram feed. The live workouts are on our Instagram feed for for the week. And then they go to our YouTube channel. All right, so here we go. Split squats. All right. Curtsy to lateral, or lateral curtsy. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Back to weight. Staggered dead. I always focus on the lead leg. So for me right now, the left leg, doing really all the work. My right foot's just balanced. I think that was 5, but I'm going to do one more. And I pretend essentially like I got a barbell in these hands. Almost like my hands are connected. All right. Jumps. All right. Whew. I know, no water. Bonehead move on my part. Oh well, it does happen. Yeah, so I tried to, when I do that deadlift, I try to pretend like I'm holding a barbell. So my hands will be level as I go down, right? Because obviously all the weight's in one hand. So sometimes I have the tendency to go like this because the weight's over there. So you got to really activate that side and that side, especially the obliques, since you're doing an offset. That's why obviously it's great hamstring exercise, but also a great core because you got to compensate since all the weight's on one side. All right. A little catch another breath. I'm going to get to 3 and find out how I feel. All right, I'm being honest with you guys. Hopefully, we are in the trust tree, in the nest, where I can be honest and I'm told it's Friday. I'm tired. I've been doing leg day, essentially, every day, just because it kind of builds some lower back strength. But I want to see how I feel after 3 rounds. All right, let's go. Speaking of rounds, number 2. Here we go. Split squat. All right. I get a little more on the side of you. All right. Curtsy lateral. I would say the lateral lunge and this curtsy the challenge. These 2 moves right here are probably, I don't want to say they're advanced, but really technique is important. All right, that was kind of elaborate. So, for the lateral lunge, obviously I'm moving out laterally, right? And ideally I want this knee over this toe, and this knee straight, legs straight. Kneecap is kind of pointed up to the sky. Curtsy, the knee of that leg tucks behind the heel of the lead leg. Alright? I'll kind of elaborate a little bit more after I finish this round with that. Whoop! That's what happens when I don't pay attention. Do an extra one just in case. Alright, stagger dead. Really trying to focus on those hands moving evenly. Shoulder blades level with the ground. Okay. Jumps. So with the lateral lunge, a lot of trouble, and I think it's really a flexibility issue. When people go to that lateral lunge, right, they have trouble with this straight leg. Sometimes they collapse like this because they don't have the external rotation to kind of pop that out. And I think we've talked about it before on these live workouts. If that has trouble, let that toe rotate up to the ceiling, all right? Alright, and then we're really trying to focus the weight somewhat over this foot. Not too much on the outside, obviously, or inside, right? Push too much shear force on the outside, inside of thigh. But, you know, we're doing body weight, which, you know, not that it's easy, but obviously less, you know, force on the knee when you're not holding the weight, right? Alright, we're doing, I don't know, I'm feeling it, but I think I can do 4. I'm gonna do 4 for you guys. All right, let's get it started. All right, switch my back. Show a side view for this side. I don't think I've done this one. Side. Right. I tell people that are really kind of perfecting their lateral lunge form, push the butt back. Right? Obviously you can stay upright too, but get that butt going back. Alright? That'll help keep that foot nice and flat. Deadlifts. 2. Jumps. Sun's beating down. I know. I mean, it's still nice out here compared to what it was probably 2 months ago. Heart rate's going. I didn't put my workout thing on, but see if they'll give me a current heart rate measurement. So, you know, talking about those movements, the jumps, kind of plyo jumps, land and saw, right? You know, I'm trying to get some height, but really hitting the ground, nice spring to the legs, back up, land and saw, protecting those knees. Kind of nice to have a nice condition out here too. So, all right, let's do this. Last round, folks. Okay? Here we go. Crazy lateral. Last one. On this side. All right. Staggered deads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jump it out. All right. There you go. Little leg day for y'all. Hopefully you enjoyed this live workout. Like I mentioned earlier, it's going to be up on our feed the next week, the Instagram feed, then it goes to the YouTube channel. So if you missed any of the past live workouts, go to the YouTube channel. They're all up there. We've got a good streak going, so we're trying to make through the full year, doing one at least once a week. I know I missed weeks for being out of town, but we're almost there. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.